Imagine a shadow, vast and unseen, sweeping across an entire continent, leaving desolation in its wake. A force so indiscriminate, so relentless, it brought kingdoms to their knees and reshaped the very fabric of human existence. This was no invading army, no natural disaster. This was the Black Death, a silent apocalypse that descended upon Europe in the 14th century. A crucible that forged a new world from the ashes of the old. Before its arrival, life in Europe was a rigid, unyielding tapestry woven with hierarchy and tradition. The feudal system reigned supreme, a pyramid of power where lords and nobles sat at the apex. Sustained by the toil of countless peasants, these men and women, bound to the land, were little more than property, their labor cheap, abundant, and essential to the lord's wealth and absolute authority. Their lives were harsh, their futures predetermined, their voices unheard. It was a system designed to endure, seemingly immutable. Then came the plague. It spared no one, striking down rich and poor, young and old, priest and peasant alike. In just a few short years, a staggering 30 to 60% of Europe's population vanished. Villages emptied, fields lay fallow, and markets fell silent. This unimaginable loss, while horrific, triggered an unforeseen and revolutionary shift. Suddenly, the very foundation of the feudal system, cheap, abundant labor, crumbled. Surviving peasants, once easily replaceable, became a precious commodity. The balance of power, undisturbed for centuries, began to tilt. Lords, desperate for hands to work their land and maintain their estates, found themselves in an unprecedented position. They needed the peasants more. For the first time, ordinary folk had leverage. They began to demand not just higher wages, but better living conditions and greater freedoms. When their demands were met with resistance, they revolted. Uprisings like the Peasants' Revolt in England, though brutally suppressed, sent shockwaves through the nobility. The old system, reliant on absolute control, began to fracture, unable to contain the rising tide of discontent and newfound peasant power. The Black Death didn't just kill people, it destroyed a way of life. It weakened the entrenched power of the nobility, opening pathways for a nascent middle class. It accelerated the transition to a wage economy, laying crucial groundwork for modern capitalism. This wasn't because people suddenly became inherently better or more enlightened. It was because a catastrophic event forced a fundamental rebalancing of power. The world was permanently changed, not by design, but by a devastating, indiscriminate force that, in its destruction, inadvertently sowed the seeds of a more equitable and dynamic future. The plague was a dark chapter, but it was also the brutal midwife of modernity, reminding us that even in the deepest despair, the seeds of transformation can be found, pushing humanity towards an unforeseen evolution.